Brad Jones, the Cinema Snob, was born on December 20th in 1981 and is one of the few remaining members of thatguywiththeglasses.com, rebranded as Channel Awesome. He got his start on YouTube in 2007 and continues to make content to this day under his persona, the Cinema Snob, over at Stoned Gremlin Productions. Just don't ask about the name. We've seen worse branding.
Now, what is the Cinema Snob? Well, dressed in the same vein as the Nostalgia Critic, you know, that semi-professional but not proper professional attire, sitting in a beat-up lazy man chair, the Cinema Snob gives us his critiques on some of the worst movies that you've never seen.
The Marbles run a service where they impregnate young abducted women and sell their babies to lesbian couples.
His primary focus is on exploitation films, cult horror, martial art movies, and stuff that you've maybe seen while browsing on Netflix, but because it looks stupid you probably skipped it. Oh, and the porn.
Hey Casey, thanks for the help, dude.
I was busy.
Yeah, busy plowing April while we fought the spreader.
Yeah, I kinda wish you showed me that fight. Would have been more interesting than the sex, or your goddamn puns.
His review style is what could be considered Nostalgia Critic light. As we've explained in previous videos, members of That Guy with the Glasses lift their inspiration from Doug Walker, so for a Cinema Snob episode, many of the components from the Nostalgia Critic episode are present but are actually subdued. Stuff like drawn out or forced jokes, chronological retelling of the film, and a possible skit that either hits or misses. But most likely misses.
However, with Brad, his jokes were brief and on point. The chronological retelling was par for the course. However, he kept his skits to be a rare offshoot. It was like a nega nostalgia critic that tapered back the worst parts of that persona.
They're going to wipe out all of mankind! But
They seem to have trouble with pantry doors.
you can't be this stupid! You can't! I mean, you literally just stated out loud why this movie can't work! I mean, what are you, a moron?
That's a dick.
I hate to borrow from a subpar comedy, but take it, Scary Movie 3!
They mastered spaceflight, but they can't get through a wooden door?
You see what you did there, movie? You see what you did? You just made Charlie Sheen right about something! You did that movie! You did it! That's how...
In 2012, we got the Cinema Snob movie. Because we needed a 130-minute movie to explain the backstory of a guy who talks about movies on the internet. You want to know the real origin story? I had a lot of free time one day. The end.
Consistency seems to be the key to success with those who made it big from their time on Channel Awesome. Wish I had that trait. His review style, like Doug's and many other reviewers, is inspired by the legendary film critic duo of Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. But from my experience watching the reviews, there's that third piece, the piece of just talking about the film at length in chronological order, which is very much unlike Siskel or Ebert.
He has the nitpicky nature of Siskel and the overall experiential feeling of Ebert, and he ties them together as he gives us a ride for a movie that we would probably never see. Many people at Channel Awesome use this chronological retelling style because it gives us, the viewer, that experience. And to a point, if done incorrectly, it is a cheapened experience for the viewer. Why watch the movie if every facet of it is going to be explained away? Well, perhaps that's the point. You weren't actually going to watch these movies anyway.
So let me just pull out my traditional end-of-movie caramello and take it all in.
I do hope that doggy is for sale. How much is that doggy in the window?
What? This isn't shit, it's a candy bar. That was shit. Grow up.
Not sure if you would still want to see them after that.
Well, I've actually seen some of these films. When he does review a film that I've seen, like Jason X or Sleepaway Camp, I'm more prone to see if his opinion coincides or clashes with mine. Turns out we agree on a lot of points. With Brad, unlike Doug, I don't feel that he uses the chronological retelling as a crutch, but as a tool to have the audience be entertained. Overall, I personally enjoy his channel and feel like he's finally getting the credit he deserves. He's been doing this for over a decade, and it looks like he's gained a following that's consistently growing. He's even surpassed some of his colleagues that got him started in the first place.
Brad has stayed humbled throughout this entire process of growth. A Q&A with Brad posted over on theoverthinkersmedia.com reveals that he contributes his online career success to spooning. Brad talked about building his own website and moving over to Blip, back when Blip was still relevant anyway. In the article, he was asked about why he uploaded 10 episodes all at once for an anniversary, and his response was,
"What can I do for the 10th anniversary? And since it was simultaneously the 400th episode and also the 10th anniversary of the show, I felt like, well, what if I do a giant episode dump?" In other QAs, he legitimately just chills and jokes with his fans. He loves and respects the people who support him, and those fans show the love and respect back. He regularly uploads, has consistent series, and the occasional offhand one. He completes his movie promises and keeps his patrons and Indiegogoians updated. In the sea of controversy amongst Channel Awesome, Brad Jones stands out as a shining treasure. He loves making content, and I don't see him going away anytime soon. In fact, he's making a new movie with the support of his fans over on Indiegogo. Again, is it Indiegogoians? What do you call those people? At least he has a history of actually finishing films.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. This is just part of a multi-part collaboration. We plan to go over every member of That Guy with the Glasses and to shed some light on this very niche side of the internet.
If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe to Extramana or myself, Noble Absinthe, and be sure to tick that chime next to it to stay updated for future releases. Likes and shares are always appreciated, and with that being said, thank you again, and we'll see you in the next video.